Greetings and welcome to the Thirsty Mage, the virtual pub where there's always at least a few games going on. I'm your host David Lloyd, and this episode we've got a bunch of different games that we've been playing the past few weeks, and we better start talking about them before the memories of those games are replaced by the next stream of games that happen to grace our handhelds. So joining me at this ungodly hour of Sunday morning, it's Casey Gibson.
I feel like I say this every week. I regret my decisions. That, or at least maybe I just think that. But yes, we got a bunch of games to talk about because June, there's the onslaught begins.
Yes, I've pre-ordered my big June game already that we talked about last episode. So trying to get through a little backlog that I've thrust upon myself before that one comes in. And fresh as a daisy because it's Sunday night in her part of the world, Paige Chamberlain.
Fresh as a crazy daisy, am I right, Casey?
Ooh-wee.
The adventures of David and his self-imposed game list.
They're never ending.
Yeah.
What if I play 5 RPGs at the same time?
And I'll definitely remember all the details of everyone and not completely forget 3 days after.
See, it's not that I would be worried about forgetting per se. I'd be more worried to be mixing them up, you know?
He's not playing any ones with timed input, so he's all right.
When they go to Shinra building, you know, and take care of that.
Yeah, well, I am starting to run into that issue a bit because most of the games I've been playing lately are Shin Megami Tensei games. So it's like they start thinking about the battle system, and like, oh wait, that's the game before that one.
There's like a joke in the Persona 5 community where it's like the one based on like there's this thing you'll find in a lot of anime and games and stuff, and it's this guy that he's sort of like based on like Jomon era pottery, and the people are like that's the MF that reflects physical, but then in some SMT games he does not reflect physical. So you just be thinking one demon does one thing and then it won't do the other thing.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue because I've seen demons like different demons pop into different games, and thinking they're all the same, but they often have different movesets or I'll think like, oh, if I fuse these two, I get one of those. I'm like, oh no, that's apparently that doesn't work in this one or something. Like it's you always got to be conscious of that one. But it's funny because so we were putting the list together, the games we're going to talk about, and the first game on my list, I actually legitimately did forget what it was because I was like, I know I played an SMT game between Strange Journey and whatever I'm playing now. And then it hit me that it was like, oh yeah, I played SMT4 over a couple weeks there, and it's so this one was Casey got me hooked on this one because I think we were finishing up Strange Journey, and we were doing an episode or something, and then I'm pretty sure Casey had brought up how good SMT4 was, and I was kind of hemming and hawing, and then I'm pretty sure, like, you mentioned a few things about it, and then by the end of the episode, I'd already
you're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and
I'm like, he's playing all these SMT games, and he's just not playing one of the best ones there is. Yeah, it's right there waiting for him.
Yeah, it was funny because I had the cartridge. It was actually in my 3DS the whole time. It was just most of my 3DS games are digital, but the one cartridge I had was SMT4. Started it a few years ago when I first bought it. I remember apparently did not get very far because I had no idea there was a Tokyo map. I was
you're in the Eastern Kingdoms, baby.
I was all in the East. Yeah, I never got out of the Eastern Kingdom. I had gone down to like the dungeon and fought a bunch there, and then I ended up going back to my old village, and I think that's where I stopped my playthrough the first time around. And thinking like, wow, this is really weird. There's no Tokyo in an SMT game. And then, this time I managed to get to Tokyo pretty fast. And then I realized I had put basically like very few hours into the game. But Yeah, I'm glad I played it because it was very high on my list of SMT games. Casey was right all along. One of the better ones for sure. Um, this
And the
time I
beauty is you
actually,
still have Apocalypse.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Haven't started it yet. Hopefully, I can get through this episode without starting it.
Yeah, I was going to
Um,
say by the end of it, he's like, I've got 3 hours into it. We're like, dude, we've been recording for an hour.
yeah. So yeah, it's definitely high up there. I would say the only real issue I had with the game was I found that it was like there was a lot of times I was like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing here? Because like there's really no signposting whatsoever. They just kind of toss you into Tokyo, and then you could talk to like some of the people in the different parts of town, and they'll kind of hint to what you're supposed to be doing. But definitely had to check out a guide a couple times to be like, okay, so like where am I supposed to be going now? Because there's definitely a lot of hopping around the different parts of Tokyo that you have to do. Uh, I was happy that I was able to get my neutral good ending this time. I kind of blew it
Boom.
on Strange Journey. I ended up going through a law playthrough of that one. Kind of wished I had looked up the neutral, how to get the neutral guide. But there was no way I was going to replay Strange Journey for another 40 hours. So I just did a quick check on the SNT4 before I started and managed to secure the neutral ending. So very happy with that one. It's been a weird year playing a lot of 3DS games. I have to say, I don't think I've used my 3DS. I think I've used my 3DS more in 2026 than I had like the past 10 years leading up to this point.
Well,
It's
here you
because
were
he's too
thinking
poor
it was
for a
the year
Switch
of
2.
SMT,
Yeah,
but it's the year of 3DS.
yeah, yeah. It's,
Well,
it's
there's
it's definitely feeling that way.
well, there's quite a few that were just naturally like bordered to it. You've got like Four and Apocalypse, and the Devil Survivor games,
Yeah.
things like that. So,
Well, and then yeah, Atlas, like they went all in on the 3DS. Many of which games came out after the Switch was released, which was probably a poor decision on their part. But yeah, like the Strange Journey, they had the Redux version. Yeah, SNT4 and Apocalypse. Then yeah, they had the two Persona Q games, like just a ton of stuff. Well, and then on top of that, like all the Etrian Odysseys, and
Oh man, yeah.
like they were just releasing a ton for the 3DS.
3DS
you
was
know
goaded.
Yeah.
what's something they released on the Wii U is how
Oh, the key.
SMT.
Are you talking about Tokyo Mirage Session?
yes, yeah,
That
how
game
much
was pretty good.
how much does the Patreon need to get to for you to play Tokyo Mirage Sessions?
Ugh.
I think you wouldn't dislike it that much.
I've played a lot of it and disliked it quite a bit.
But what was that? 10 years ago? You're a new man.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Yeah, it was probably 7 years ago. I'd imagine.
I
Because
mean,
I
I know
played it
your
when it came
dream
out
is to
on
be a
Switch.
K-pop star.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't.
The dungeons were
I'm not
fun.
I'm not gonna commit to anything, but
Look, you've played some
uh,
Fire Emblem, you've played some SMT, now you're ready to play.
Yeah.
one of the biggest problems was that I had just played Persona 5, and so there was a lot of comparison going on where it's like, well, these dungeons are not as good as Persona 5, and these battle systems are not as good as Persona 5, and these characters are not as good as Persona 5.
And
This
yet,
game sucks.
Yet the UI was so good they reused it for SMT5. All the bubble frames.
Yeah.
Plus, now that you've played some Fire Emblems, you'll really be able to understand the Fire Emblem references just littered throughout that game.
You're like, oh, that
That's
kind of
true.
looks like this one person, sort of.
Yeah, is that the merchant from Fire Emblem?
Yeah.
that one you'll be able to notice?
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't played a Switch game in like years, so might have to see if the battery's even still working on it.
Well, when you get your Switch 2, you can finally get Yoshi and join us.
Unless they're giving away Switch 2s for free, I don't see that happen. But speaking of Yoshi, I know I'm the only one not playing Yoshi right now. Apparently,
That's because you can't.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because you're a loser.
is it a Switch 2 exclusive?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
I think Nintendo's on to Switch 2 exclusive games.
Yeah.
Well, we still got Rhythm Heaven, and then we don't know if they're going to do any more.
Oh, I can't wait for Rhythm Heaven. It's so good. Oh, but anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
Before you start Yoshi, was Tamagotchi Life wasn't Switch 2 exclusive though, right?
No, that was a Switch 1 game without a Switch 2 version.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, I think that's the title.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that came out this week. And yeah, it's getting, I guess, some mixed reviews.
Yeah, it seems to be like people love it or really don't like it.
Mm.
What
do you think so
How
far?
much have you played so far, Paige?
I reckon probably a couple of hours. I did the first area, and then sort of depending on how much you go back and collect more things, I ended up playing in the third area instead of the second area.
Okay.
So just a little bit. Nothing like super new that showed up. But yeah, so in Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, there is a book called Mr. E for in this
The
encyclopedia.
encyclopedia, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And basically you go into the book worlds to catalog these creatures that we see, and you basically just throw them against stuff in the environment and try to make things happen in order to get discoveries, which will give you points. And then you can't just leave the level whenever you want, really, after the first few. But there's usually a great big discovery that's worth a few more points, like the stars you collect, I believe. You do still have the typical Yoshi things of the smileys to find too. Sometimes that is part of the discovery, like getting them all. But yeah, there usually be like a big discovery, or it might be like a story-based thing, like you encounter Bowser Jr. and Kamek along during the story. So there was one of the early levels, they got trapped in a bubble, and you have to sort of just help them get out of it, and then they yell at you, and then that counts as the thing that you can use to just leave the level.
Yeah, it's sort of a strange like layout because like Paige said, it's sort of like each so they're going by chapters. So in the first chapter, I think there were like 5 or 6 little levels. Yeah, pretty much I did I finished the first chapter and unlocked the second chapter, but I had skipped one of the areas in chapter 1. So that's what I'm wrapping up now. So I haven't played a whole ton, but it's interesting. Like she was saying, it's that you go into the area and it's like, yeah, there's an objective, whatever it might be, and it sort of seems to like change up a little bit. But along the way, they're just like little like tasks, whether it's really obvious or not obvious. So one of the abilities Yoshi has is he could like pick up an enemy and put it on his back. So like the little flowery guys that walk around, if you pop that guy on your back, then if you pass like little buds on the trees or whatever, they will bloom. So it's like, oh, okay. So this area, if I get all of these flowers to bloom in the little area, it's like, oh, you've unlocked that little, like, hey, you did it. Congrats, you know? So there's like lots of little things like that sort of scattered about. Like there's another one where there are these little creatures that blow bubbles. So if you like throw it on your back, then like he blows lots of bubbles. Then you could jump into the bubbles and that'll like raise you up, right? But then there's like, oh look, there's a pile of mud over there. So like as Yoshi runs through the mud and then he's covered in mud, but now when you put the bubbles out, they sink instead because they're mud bubbles. So then now all of a sudden, right, like, oh look, there was like a pile of leaves over there. Now I run by with my mud bubbles and they clear out and it opens up another area. And now I drop down and yeah, there's a flower in there to get. So it's like lots of little random bits and bobs throughout the level that you're sort of, like I said, some are like more obvious, like, hey, this is sort of what you're supposed to do. And then there's some that are more like discreet or like, oh, like I've taken that mechanic I'm using to sort of, traverse this level, and I'm using it in a clever way to unlock or open up a little like reward area. So
Well, if we want to just
it's
mostly
yeah.
spoil the bubble area, so for example, that's one that I kept going in and out of to try and, because when you finish a level, it'll show you one thing and it'll like sort of tell you what to do, like I didn't bother making any muddy puddles, so it like gave me a blanked out one of that. And then I do that, and then pop out again, and then be another one that it tell me or whatever else I had discovered myself. There's other things like the bubble guys. If you feed them fruits, then we get like three. There's like three different fruits, and you get three different bubble properties as well. And then you have to combine them all with the mud to get even more of the discoveries. But there was something like further up in the level, because there's a bit, there's like not a challenge, but like, a bit where it's like you have to sort of manage timing bubbles to get up properly and sort of like trying to take extra guys up with you so you can get high up there. And the further high up I found, the two things that needed to be discovered, like the discoveries were right next to each other to sort of help you, but there's some spicy peppers, and if you eat them, then it makes spiky bubbles, which those ones are harder to travel with, because if they're touching each other and you jump out of it, it pops, and then it pops all the bubbles that are touching each other.
Mm.
But that's good, because that's like the only thing, one of the few things that actually gets rid of the bees. Takes them out.
Oh, those little
And then
bees are
that's
sons of
yeah,
guns,
and
dude.
that's a
There's so
little
many of
discovery.
them.
And then sort of as you're playing a bit more, I was doing things that's sort of out of order, but it seems like you should mostly do them in order, because then, for example, after finding that the spicy bubble discovery, that caused something different to happen in the bee level, because I'd found out that they attacked the bees. So then when I came back to the bee level, there was a new type of creature, and it made the level just slightly different by giving you one of those guys. And then that's like a separate variant of the level that you can load into.
See, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So it to me it seems very much like a game where maybe if you're trying to 100% it, like could maybe be a little frustrating. Like Paige
You
said,
can,
after you beat a level, it will give you a hint to like go back and be like, why don't you try this and sort of see what's up?
but
So
then you have
it,
to keep going
you
in
know,
and
because
out to get more hints. So.
yeah, because initially I was like, it seems like it'd be really annoying if you were trying to 100% the game.
No, that's any
And I
Yoshi
guess it
game, I
might
think.
still be. Yeah, like I was like, I get like it feels like you need a guide, which I guess like it's like it is nice that they give you sort of like the let's push you in the right direction after the level, you know. But yeah, there's a lot to do in these levels, like in terms of like things you can find. So I still do think it'd probably be a little bit on the annoying side if you're trying to be like, I need to, you know, get everything in this level, especially if you're one of those people like, I want to get everything in this level before I move on. You know, I could see that getting pretty tedious. But like for me, I'm just gonna probably like so I like went through the level, I got a bunch of stuff, and I was like, all right, I'll just keep on moving on. But now hearing how Paige saying like I didn't realize the fruit interacted differently and changed up those bubbles. So like that's something I'm definitely gonna
Yeah.
go back and check out.
For example, on that level, you'll find some of the daisies in the corner pulling out a fruit. So if you help them do that, then like that was the first one I discovered, was like it's easier to just like have them on your back and then you pass the fruits. Like if it's upright or somewhere, they eat
And
it.
they'll
That's
like
easier.
yeah, they'll eat it.
But you can also just toss the fruit towards them, because like when you pick the stuff up on your back, then you can toss it off.
Well, dude, I played the first level and I was like, "Am I an idiot?" Like I got to the end. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, this is the first level of a Yoshi game, and I'm stuck. I'm like, I can't believe this.
You weren't thinking about the mechanics of the bubbles enough.
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't. I would honestly, I was like, oh, you could throw the dude on your back, like, duh. Like, I must have just somehow missed that. I don't know. I was like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. But it is
There,
cool, like sort of how you were mentioning those annoying bees, where
mm,
there's like a bajillion of them. If you bloom the flowers on the plants, then like as you run by them and the bees are chasing you, they get distracted and go to the flowers,
yeah,
and
there's the
then
really
they're
lots of cute little things that interact with each other like that, which you might need on certain stages. There's one I've gotten to where there's like, well, there's a failure state in regards to getting the main goal, where I screwed up and something got eaten by something else. And then all the other ones that are supposed to say 5 of them look extremely depressed and are grey now.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
so that you'd have to start over the level, which is pretty easy. Just like press a button and like start over. But or there's like bits where I've some of the creatures won't necessarily respawn, or they only do it so many times. So there's like a couple of like rocks and areas that I haven't managed to like get the bees to go towards because I've knocked them out, and every time, and I keep doing it every time I go back. And I'm like, oh dang it. The only weird little thing at the moment was, so when it comes to the hints you sort of get for ones, it's like you can pay some of you pick up gold throughout the levels, and you can pay a bit of money for it to just like reveal a new hint for you, where it tells you like what it's called, but then sometimes you might need more detail because you don't know what it's talking about. For example, there's like an underground area in that level you can get to, and and I still didn't know what it was talking about. And then I pay a bit of extra money, and it says ground pound these bits. I'm like, oh, that's the one thing I do keep forgetting to do in levels. It's just ground pounding on stuff.
Oh man, I'm a
But
ground pounder.
yeah, because I was like, so I had to pay the extra because I'm like, I don't understand what you want from me. What do you need? But because you can just go in and out of levels and stuff, it can be, you can just go to a level where there's a lot of money at the start and just like grind for that if like you're really, really stuck on something.
You could grind in Yoshi is what she's trying to say here.
Mm. And there was one weird thing where something like a little shadow thing popped up, and he's like, oh, we should go to level with this and try to do this hint. And then I did it, and like I didn't get anything extra for it, and it was a basic discovery. Again, it was just ground pounding with a thing because I didn't like with a buddy, and I hadn't thought to ground pound with a buddy. And I was just sort of wondering, I'm like, why that's why is it urging me to do that one thing? It didn't do anything extra. It is funny
Yeah,
how it sort of lets you do things slightly out of order, because like then I'll be on a stage and it'll be like a discovery, like coaxed out question mark question mark question mark, because obviously they're meant to be discovered on an earlier level, and I haven't done it, so they don't get to have a name yet.
that is yeah. It is funny. Like after you discover a creature, like at the end, they're like, "Do you want to name it?" And I'm like, "No, just tell me
Really?
what you want to call it."
You like his name? Some of his names are terrible.
Yeah, but I feel like those are the canon names, so that's what I'm rolling with. Although maybe I should have the little flower guys. I should have named David.
That would be.
Here's my
Oh, you
David.
should just
Yeah.
name them people. Oh, that would be so funny, actually.
Yeah, then like someone's like, yeah, the crazy days. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Oh, you mean
You'd be like,
David?
oh, you mean that those Casey fellas don't taste too good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the worst. I will say, right, like it's an easy game in the sense that you can't get hurt and die.
Mm.
So I really do wish there was like a little bit of pushback, I guess, or a little more resistance.
I don't, because of those
like when those
bees.
bees
Like
come, they
if you
come
took damage
flying
from the
at you, and they
bee,
just
you'd be dead instantly. Like dunk, dunk,
it'd be
dunk,
game
dunk,
over.
there you go.
Yeah, hardest game
They designed
ever.
the
Yeah,
bees, and they were like, let's take out lives now.
yeah. They're like, we can get rid of the bees, or we can get rid of the hearts. Get rid of the heart system. We're keeping the bees. But yeah, so it is, it does lean into that sort of classic Yoshi where it's like trending more towards a Kirby level of difficulty. But I guess ultimately, right, like Yoshi games have usually never been about being too hard, or too overly hard. But yeah, I wish there was like maybe a middle ground where they could have found it, or like, hey, maybe it is sort of easier with some sort of heart system, and then, you could toggle on the Draki mode if you need it. But yeah, I I've been enjoying it. Like I said, I haven't played a whole ton. I've been busy this last couple days, so I haven't really gotten to. With the holiday weekend, I'm hoping to play more this weekend. But yeah, it's one of those. So far, I've been enjoying it, but like I could definitely see why it's not everyone's cup of tea.
At least the music's not bad.
Yeah, and visually, like I really like how it looks.
Yeah, I think the only thing that sort of weirds me is how certain things. Actually, I don't know. I think that's a different game I'm thinking of. I won't say. I haven't. I don't know. Yoshi can look a bit funny when you just the amount of movement he's doing, or I feel like it's still in the thing where they like deliberately take a few frames out. So when he's like sort of staying still and idling, it looks weird. But yeah, I do like that it's got the mixed aesthetic sort of. So we're not going with the woolly or the crafted anymore, but we've got like nice sort of like sketchy lines around like the assets, so then it sort of makes it look like it's a painting. Or Yoshi himself just sort of looks. I don't know how you describe how he looks, but it's like some things look like they've got sort of like a real texture on them if you like look closely, but they're not. They're not the
Yeah.
crafted aesthetic anymore. It's a nice
Woolly
mix of
World's still my
styles
favorite.
for how it looks, or just for playing.
Well, how I mean, I really like. I think if we're going in totality, Yoshi, Yoshi's Island's still going to be the top dog. But I really like Woolly World's look and play. I enjoyed that game a lot. But yeah, visually speaking, I really love that yarn look.
Mm.
But I'm enjoying this look too. Like the chapter select is cool because it like as you go through the levels, things change, and then like the creatures move around and
Harass each other.
Yeah, visually, like I said, it's definitely really nice looking.
It's a very good before bed game.
Yeah, it's your bedtime story, reading our book. But yeah, no, I could definitely see why it's a bit divisive between people, like thinking it's either good or like what the heck is this, But yeah, I guess Yoshi games they've always sort of been messing around with a little bit.
Yeah, everyone was calling it like a baby game, so I tried to let my little one play it, but it won't let you use a single Joy-Con, which is because and I was like, it doesn't make sense because it's because you can use the right stick to throw eggs, but like you can also just press the right trigger, so seems like a weird oversight. So that doesn't help her, but it's just I don't personally like, even though it's a nice environment where like the damage doesn't cause too much of a problem. I think the lining up the jumps to go upwards was too much for her, and that's like the first level. So it's like maybe some people's babies are more ready for that, but mine isn't.
You need a little more time, yeah.
But at least I'm enjoying it because I did get it to like play with her, and now it's like, okay, well it's just for me now. So at least I'm liking it.
Nice.
Cool. Well, it's funny, the next game on our list, I only heard about this game like a few days ago, and I was reading it and I'm like, well, this is weird. I've never. It's so funny that it's the Lego Batman, but apparently in an Arkham Asylum style game. And I'm like, how does that even work in a Lego game?
You're like, I'm going to find out.
Yeah,
I am going to find out.
Well, I've played a few hours of it, and like I've never beaten any Lego games, but like even just playing it, I'm like, this is definitely still a Lego game. Like you go through a level, there's a bit where you get stuck, you smash up some random stuff nearby, and then they build a contraption to launch you forward to the next thing. There's bits to collect everywhere. In this case, the levels are very deliberately designed with multiple like pathways and stuff. Some of them, and you always have a second character with you because you can play the entire game with split screen co-op.
Oh, really?
So after a bit, I started playing a bit with my husband, but it seems like I'm gonna. It might just be something that I'll have to play by myself. So I was like, oh, good, this is a co-op game. This is my co-op game, and then I've got one on my own to focus on. I was like, nope, it's back to me. I'm playing all these games by myself. But yeah, it is still very much like a Lego game, with the writing, the humor. There's some really. I recorded a clip. There was a bit at the start where it's like he's reading the newspaper, and then he like scrunches it up and throws it, and it just hits like the newspaper stand seller, and then he like throws $300 at her, and she's like, "Oh, thanks," and then he goes past the busking musician and throws like a 5-cent $5 coin in the music case, and he just stops playing. And so there's still like heaps of that like great little humor and funny moments, and then it's cool to see things like because it's basically sort of just doing. So far, I'm going through Batman's life story at the moment. So we had a little bit where we saw how happy he was as a little kid before before something happened. And then we had a whole training segment with League of Shadows. That was like your main tutorial for your combat, and yeah, thankfully optional stealth. But then you have to like it's sort of an Arkham combat system where you just sort of like hit, and then like press the prompt to do a counter attack and dodge because some people have guns. So I put it on like the medium difficulty because it's by default goes to classic for like based on other Lego games difficulty, and you got two harder ones. And then like I almost want to put it back just because then there'll be less enemies because it's like
Yeah.
it's not very engaging because you just sort of like punch, press triangle when like an exclamation point pops up. Press this other meter when, but then you get like I forget what it's called, like a gauge fills up, and then you can like insta kill someone, which for a main bad guy doesn't really like a little goon doesn't really help, but with the boss fight it helps because it does take out a nice chunk of HP. You've got your detective vision, which is I think actually pretty useful in in this one. So you're just like trying to find the those Lego pieces you build up together. I'm not feeling like super engaged with the combat, but I did finally get to like the actual it's sort of open world a little bit. Like you've got a little Arkham City, and you've got your Batmobile, and you can kind of just drive over and into anyone, and it doesn't matter, which is great. Especially when you forget, what side of the road Americans drive.
Like, this game's messed up. They can't even get the driving right.
So I guess that's the point where player 2 would be like a bit less engaged is when you're doing the driving because you're not both controlling that. But there's like little, they've got the little extra challenges or random encounters to like sort of like crimes or whatever to fight. You've got like wanted posters to pick up pieces of. You've got some Riddler challenges. But then when you go to do like a story mission, it'll sort of tell you that you're going to go into like this separate loaded level, so you can't go back into the open world for a bit. And that's I've only played a few hours of it, but I've gotten to that. So yeah, it's pretty fun. It is cool how it's doing like the combination of the two, and we're sort of getting a mix of like different timelines, different versions of Bat villains. Like the Penguin one looks a bit more like the Danny DeVito one so far, and they're definitely going with the whole. So I forget. I'm gonna double check because I just wasn't sure if it's right. Is that no? Okay. John, maybe Johnny. Let's see. Yeah, so there's the guy that kills Batman's parents, and he starts saying stuff that
Joe
like
Glass?
I don't know, but in this version, it's obvious that he's going to become the Joker. Like some variants of like Batman's Tower, they do that rather than just making him some guy. Because he just says stuff where it's like that's a Joker line from one movie or another. And currently, what I'm up to is that we're going with the version where he's Red Hood 1 with the big dome head. So that's currently what he's done. But then that's really funny. But then because all his stuff is already Joker colored, like he's got a fish and it's just like Joker color painted, and it's so we're just like doing a short quick version of like that origin story. I've seen from like
it might be the 89 Batman because in that one they had the Joker killed his parents, Jack Napier.
Yeah, I'm not sure because they are doing like quite a mix of things, but it was very obvious that they were making it's gonna be Joker because they just gave him like a line from another movie. And they're gonna. So I guess when I get to a factory with some vats in it, that's when I know we'll get the Joker.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I haven't.
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yeah, I haven't gotten Robin yet. So player 2 is currently Detective Gordon. He's not a commissioner yet. So yeah. Um, the only, yes, I guess the only thing I have to say with it, I ended up putting it in. You know, I've got it on the PS5. I ended up putting it on performance mode because it was feeling a bit like sluggish, which was like just kind
Mm.
of nuked the colors. I don't know if you look at the PC system requirements, there was a bit of controversy with that. Let's see, the minimum is Windows 11, Intel Core i5 1060K or Ryzen 5 1600, 16 gigabytes of RAM. So I don't know what the graphics. It says the graphics cards, but I don't know. Like we've got GTX 960, RX 6400, or A 580. And that's to get low 1080p with 30 FPS with frame gen and stuff. The game is like pretty and big, and there's stuff and like visual effects everywhere. I don't know if those Switch and Switch 2 ports are going to come out in any quality condition. And then me putting on the frame rate, I guess, performance version, and then I put it in like cop, so then it went back to the same performance it was when I had nice graphics. Another thing I like is that more and more games are having accessibility options at the start. And I clicked the options for motion sickness because I get motion sick quite easily. And I guess it's just turned certain things off, like, screen shake or bobbing or anything like that. But it also, and I guess motion blurring, but also it has a persistent dot in the middle of the screen, which is only annoying and like it doesn't go away for cutscenes, because you have some cuts, like you've got a lot of like a cutscene and then it goes back to gameplay, like a momentary one. And it's just kind of annoying that the persistent dot is persistently there. It's like, go away.
So that dot's supposed to prevent
Yeah, it's supposed to be like so
motion
your eye
sickness.
has something to like look at and has a frame of reference, so it's not thinking that you're
Oh, so it's
going
I get it.
wobbly.
So your eyes aren't moving around. Like it's got a
Yeah.
set reference point. Yeah,
Yeah, because I've gotten
that's
motion sick
interesting.
from things like, mostly it's first person, but like, I've played a third person game where it was just a really weird walking animation, threw me off. Or something with an inconsistent frame rate really does it too. So I'm glad I
Oh
got
yeah, I
it
can
on
see
the
that. Yeah.
so I'm really glad I got it on the PS5, but even like on the PS5 it's like, yeah, you can't have a super graphics and nice frame rate. So
Yeah.
I think they overdid it with the visuals of this one, which is funny. I did also like seeing like actual Lego pieces. It's cool effects. Like, the flame is made with the flame piece, but then there's little things popping up and it's just bits. And in the Temple of Shadows, it was the Lego bonsai set, but like as a big size tree. And it's even got the little pink frogs for the cherry blossoms. And it was cool to see like a Lego set that I actually have seen in the game. So, should we let Casey have another turn, or?
Sure.
If you want.
Yeah. If you want to talk, you've been playing some Diablo 4.
Yes. Yeah, Lord of Hatred is the expansion here. So, yeah, this is the first major expansion. Diablo usually always has some sort of expansion that'll add a whole bunch of story stuff and then a couple new classes and things. So they announced this last year, and it was one of those, hey, pre-order now, and you can have access to the Paladin, which is one of the two new classes. And then the second class added was the Warlock, which you could not play until it fully released. I guess at this point a couple weeks ago. And yeah, so I pre-ordered it back when they announced it because the Paladin is pretty much, I'd say, overall my favorite class in Diablo games. I always enjoy it because they sort of have a nice mix of melee and also sort of ranged magic options as well. So I sort of like the versatility in them. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. Which worked out nicely because when the expansion came out, it was like, oh, sweet, I already bought this like 6 months ago or however long. So I don't actually need to pay for it now. So I just, had access. And yeah, so as in terms of the story, a pretty fun campaign. It focuses around Mephisto, which is one of the prime evils. So it's nice to it's funny. I guess like really every game you face Diablo at some point, and I don't think in 4 we have it all. Which I don't think is a bad thing. You know, I'm sure this won't be the last update or whatever to
I
Diablo
was
4.
gonna say
So
they got to save someone for the next expansion to get your money.
yep, yeah. And honestly, I think Mephisto's cooler than Diablo anyway. So yeah, he is like the primeval, you know, the Lord of Hatred. He's the big bad, and you know you revolve around him. So story wise was cool. I thought it was pretty good. And then when you beat that, you move into the end game, which you know Diablo is known for. You sort of get into that loop of like, all right, time to sort of find gear and all that good stuff. And what's cool is, I think it's something I've sort of criticized in the past a little bit, but I think it's got its pros and cons. Is that essentially no matter where you are in the world of Diablo 4, the enemies will sort of tune to around your level, right? So like essentially you could go anywhere and like
Yeah,
you're never going to be like, well, I shouldn't say that. You could go like 99% of places and be like, oh yeah, everything's sort of around where I am, you know, like
yeah, because I
you know,
got
in the open.
confused by that by seeing like a streamer did like a sponsored stream for the new expansion, and it was like, oh, you could just start it with a new character, like you didn't have to work your way through the rest of the game to get to it.
Yeah, so yeah, it was sort of nice because like for those who don't play action RPGs all that much, essentially they run on like a seasons model. So like every couple months a new season will come out, and they'll it'll add some sort of like, oh, this is the seasonal sort of gimmick or seasonal thing going on, and it'll be like a new sort of mechanic or ability or some sort of something to interact with throughout for the season. And it sort of like encourages people like, hey, start a new character, play through that, unlock rewards and all that good stuff. And you know, like I said, it sort of acts as like a soft reset. So it's like, oh, everyone's on the same playing ground, right? And then after the season's over, your character, um, I forget the exact terminology that it goes to, but essentially, like all of your seasonal characters become like, I think maybe it's eternal. Like, oh, now they're just eternal characters, where it's like you can still play them, but they're not part of the quote unquote season rankings and stuff. So, like I said, it's sort of like a soft reset to, you know, and like, oh, I haven't played in a while, a new season's coming up. Like, oh, maybe it's a good time to jump in, you know. Um, but yeah,
So if you don't care about seasons, then you could just play as the same character, is what you're saying?
yeah. You could always play your character that you have. Like, yeah, they don't disappear or anything, and nothing changes aside from like they wouldn't get to interact with like the new seasonal stuff. But usually that's like relatively minor, I'd say. Or I mean, like it's sort of cool, but it's you know, yeah. I've definitely played my older characters and felt fine and had fun playing it, and not felt like, oh man, I'm missing out on the season, you know. But but it was nice, right? Like I wanted to. I'd played a paladin on, you know, when it, you know, the pre-order stuff came out. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to play a paladin for the new content too. So yeah, it was nice. Like start a new character, and yeah, you get to run through the expansion story. The level cap is 70 now. I think I was give or take around 60 when I beat the story. Um, and then yeah, so you know you get to level cap pretty quickly after that. And then how I was saying, everything sort of tunes to your level. There are certain like dungeons and like they call them like capstone dungeons, where it's sort of like, hey, you need to beat this to unlock the next difficulty. um and like that would be something where like I went in at like levels 60 and I was like, oh, I could do some of this. And then like as I got like halfway through the dungeon, I started dying a bunch. And I was like, all right, I'm probably just not, like I might be able to brute force this. Um, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like go back, do some random crap to level up, and then I'll come back. And then all of a
Although
sudden, I was like level 70. I went in there and just like dog walked that
uh,
dungeon. I was like, oh,
I was
this was a piece of
gonna
cake.
say, wouldn't it not just be a level, but also what gear you've picked up?
Sorry, what was that?
I was gonna say, I would have thought maybe like not, it wouldn't necessarily having the right level mightn't mean anything if you don't have good gear.
Yeah. Definitely. So it sort of goes hand in hand because, like, so once you hit level cap, then you unlock something called the Paragon boards, um, which is essentially right. You're level 70, but then you can level up your Paragon levels. So you like even when you hit level cap, you're still leveling up. It's just like you're not gonna, generally speaking, you're not gonna be like, oh, I'm unlocking a bunch of new ability points so I can like boost up my skill, like individual skills. But instead, you unlock this Paragon board, which is sort of like a bit. It's a big board with a bunch of nodes. And like you unlock your levels, and then you could like sort of, you unlock the nodes, and you can make a path, and like essentially on the boards, like there's, you can go different directions, but like there's a few spots on each one, like all right, like I want to get to that, like that's definitely like the main node that, like, oh, I get there and it just unlocks 10% more physical damage, right? Like I do 10% more damage, which is huge, right? Like that's crazy. And like the smaller nodes might be like, oh, 5 +5 to strength, +5 to willpower, like different abilities. So like you're always getting stronger. And then like some of them are like really big boosts. So it's really, once you start getting into the Paragon board is really when you start seeing your character like just get absolutely like juiced up. Um, and then right then, like, all right, I'm stronger, I could do harder stuff, and now I'm getting better gear as well. So it's like really, once you hit level cap, if it's almost like the first x amount of Paragon levels, like really you start seeing like more of an exponential growth in your ability. And then yeah, then all of a sudden you can do harder content, and now you're getting better loot. And it sort of like snowballs into that sort of like, hey, I keep leveling up, I keep getting stronger, I can keep doing harder things. Um, and the game's got a few different routes when you do hit level cap. So it's like, there's these things called hell tides, where it's like a big zone in the world will have like extra enemies like crop up, and they drop these like cinders, and when you get 75 or 150 cinders, you can go unlock these like treasure chests in the hell tides that generally drop really good gear. So it's like, oh, those pop up for an hour, I could go over there and I could just grind, get all these cinders, get a bunch of gear. Then there's nightmare dungeons, where it's like you get these keys to like you could always go into the dungeon, but then like you get these keys to increase the damage. Oh, like I got a nightmare level 5 now, like that's going to be, harder enemies, but again, like better rewards. And like there's a couple different things. They added like this cool dungeon in the expansion, where it's like you go down and it's like a timed dungeon, like 3 levels, and you want to essentially like fill up this gauge as best you can by killing enemies and doing these like clicking on these shrines, which spawn even more enemies. And like the higher your gauge is filled, the better rewards, but it's timed. um so it's like a like risk reward, right? How much time do I want to risk boosting up my gauge versus trying to get down to the boss to actually beat it and not fail the dungeon. And a couple other different things. And just I feel like the end game's a bit more varied and fun than it was when I originally played the game. So like I played the game at base. I played it when the first expansion like patch came out, not the full expansion, but the first update, paid update. I play it here and there, but this definitely feels like the most diverse and fun end game. Um, and yeah, I think if you like action RPGs, Diablo 4 is pretty darn good. Like I said, part of, I remember when I was playing it originally, like I sort of didn't like that everything sort of like tuned to your level. Because it to me it just made it feel like, oh well, I can go anywhere, and like then like there's no, like everything just feels the same in a sense, right? Where like I could think of Diablo 2, I could think of the different acts, and like, oh yeah, like I remember going from act 2 to act 3, and it was like, wow, the enemies were so much harder. That boost, like I remember that. Where here it's more like, oh well, I'm just running around. Oh, there's a hell tide over there. Let me just take a waypoint to that area and just go fight enemies that are all more or less around my ability. You know what I mean? And I still feel that way to an extent, but I do think it is nice that, like, Paige mentioned before, it's like, oh, I could start a brand new character and play the expansion without like having to do a bunch of legwork first to get to that new content. Or like, oh, David's playing and he's like a bunch of levels lower than me. Like, but oh, like I could just go over there. We could both play and it's fun for both of us still, So I think it has pros and cons to that. But ultimately, I'm enjoying it. I think I'm like level. I hit level cap, and I think I'm like level cap or Paragon level 70. And I think I've unlocked like the torment level 5. I think it goes up to 12. Like, yeah, so it goes torment level 12 is like the highest difficulty where things get crazy, and I'm at 5. So I don't know how much I'm gonna push to get to 12, or like push to unlock. So I guess I should say too, with the seasons, like there's different tiers, and it's open in the sense you could sort of do whatever the heck you want, but like the season also has like, oh, these are things you can do to unlock things and rewards. So it also like, so it's open and free to do whatever, but there is also sort of like a, hey, if you want to work on unlocking certain things, like here's like a bunch of stuff you could work towards. So it gives you some direction, but doesn't like force you to do it. But yeah, overall, I've been enjoying it. It's like I said, it's Diablo is good because sometimes you just turn the old brain off, and just go kill lots of things, or like flip on a movie or a TV show on the side, the second screen while you blast enemies. But yeah, it's got a fun reward system, and yeah, like if you like loot, you're gonna get a bunch of loot.
I'm trying to remember. I remember playing it, but I'm wondering if it was the demo because I can't remember if I actually bought the game or not. But
I'm trying to think. Was there a demo for D4?
I don't know. Because I definitely remember playing it because I remember the whole cutscene with Lilith at the beginning, and then
Something's telling me that they don't have demos for Diablo 4, but sometimes there's free trials.
Maybe that was it.
Maybe that was it. Or I might have just bought it. I buy stuff all the time and forget. So
honestly, you might have caught it on like the base game might have been they're someone's currently no offer free active trial as these are limited time. Yeah, so maybe it was some sort of.
I probably got it on like a deal or something. The base game on a deal. I bet you. You know what? They might have had the base game because I think I might have picked it up when the first expansion came out, and maybe there was like a deal on the base game.
Yeah,
and
like
I'm
$20
well, I'll
or
start
something.
the base game and we'll see what happens. And then I think I had played. Yeah, I remember playing a bit of it, and then got distracted, obviously. But so yeah, I have to check it out. See, I'll have to figure out. I'm pretty sure I would have had it on. No, well, but wouldn't have been through Steam, so I'll have to go through my BattleNet account and see what's going on.
Well, I think it is on Steam now.
Or maybe I did pick it up on Steam. I can't remember. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. The base game goes on sale, I feel like relatively often. It is a little bit of an older game now. I know when the DLC or when the expansion came out, I know they were running a pretty good price on the base game, and then they try and get you on the combo. But yeah, it is definitely a fun game. If you're interested in the genre but don't want to pay, you could check out Path of Exile. It's similar
I played
game.
like an hour or two of that. Well, yeah, Path of Exile 2. That's the one I played a little bit of.
Yeah, I actually haven't played 2 yet. I probably played a little bit of 1, where I think Path of Exile is like for hardcore Diablo fans. You know what I mean? Because I'd say like Diablo sort of, I don't want to say went like super casual or anything, but each class has a couple different builds, you could definitely do, but like Path of Exile is one of those, like, if you really want to get like the talent tree is like absurd. If you ever look at someone working on a Path of Exile build, it's like it looks like you need like a PhD to understand what the heck is going
I
on.
was I was trying to look up like what's the main differences between Diablo 4 and then Path of Exile 2, and then people were like, oh, Path of Exile 2 is harder, and I'm like, okay, I know, and they did like the tutorial, but it's like it doesn't seem like it's that
Yeah,
crazy yet.
I think it's just one of those things where like it can get like wild. Like
That's how they get you, Paige.
I linked you guys a picture of what the skill tree or like the passive skills look like in
Hmm.
Path of Exile. So like if you look at like a Diablo 4 skill tree, it's like, oh, all right, you pick like there's like 5 or 6 or whatever categories, and you could pick more than one, but like it's generally like, oh, you pick a basic skill which feeds into your core ability, like your resources to use your core ability, and like there's other ones. But like, yeah, Path of Exile is one of those like I said, you could
Well,
really go down the rabbit hole
just
and
in
get like
the
pretty insane.
couple like an hour and a bit or whatever I played, I was doing sorcerer, so I had magic, and then I kind of just focused on like the frost magic because there was one bit where it like would drop something, like would explode, and then it would make something drop, and then if I picked that up, that would give my like frost abilities more oomph, like a temporary buff. So it was all kind of just feeding into each other, and the skills you have, like the active moves, you put like little modifying things on top of them. So you equip things onto your skills.
Yeah. So like I guess Diablo 4 has that too. Like for instance, my paladin, it's like the blessed shield. Essentially, I could throw my shield out and it would like bounce around to different enemies and hit a bunch of them, right? But like I can alternate it, or I can adjust it. So now instead of bouncing around to people, it just goes in a straight line, but sort of
Nice.
slow, but like pulsates damage while it goes out against people. So it, and I'd say that's like with a bunch of abilities. So it's like, oh, this is how it operates, but then there's like 2 or 3 different like routes you can adjust that ability to like sort of match your play style and mix and match. So yeah, I feel like, I mean, I'm not trying to say Diablo doesn't have any customization or anything like that, but I just think like Path of Exile is more like for the people who really like to get into like the nitty gritty, where like, D4 is a little bit more casual in that sense. But like I said, I haven't played a ton of Path of
Well,
Exile.
the true question is whether you play Path of Exile 2 or Diablo 4 is, do you think Blizzard or NetEase is more evil?
Probably Blizzard. But yeah, I don't know. To me, I'm pretty sure Path of Exile was like made by a guy who was like really into Diablo and like didn't love the direction Diablo was going in. So it was like, all right,
Probably.
I'm just gonna make my own better Diablo, and then I guess you could argue he did.
Have you seen the like the intro segment to Path of Exile 2?
No, I've really not messed with
Yeah,
two at
so like
all.
the character selection screen is like an execution stand with like hangman, and you pick your character, and then whoever you pick, it's like the rope breaks, and you like jump off and escape, and everyone else just gets
I'm out of here.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess the name, right? Path of Exile. It's like, yeah, you've been exiled in some regard. But yeah, I'm looking at a screenshot now. That's actually pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's super cool, actually. But I think the second one you got to pay for, right? I think the first one's fully free.
Yeah, the second one you have to pay for at the moment. They are gonna make it free, and they have
Oh, because it's early
um
access right now, right?
yeah, yeah, and they have. I was looking at the cosmetic shop because there's something like I almost wanted to buy, because I can have like my stuff, and it can have like turtles sitting in it, and then they do that microtransaction thing where it's a fake currency, so like you've got to pay for
Ugh.
more. Instead of just having a set price for an item, you've got to pay extra to get this thing. And I'm like, I am not paying. I forget what it was. It was an outrage. It was really like, it was like, oh, this is definitely overpriced even compared to like other things. And I'm like, I'm not
Ugh.
paying that much for a weapon skin in a game where, like, it's showing you up close for the shop, but like in actual game, it's a bit smaller. And then there was like, so you can create like portals to go back to like home or like whatever the
Oh yeah, the
jump
town
like
portal.
so you
Yep.
can like come back. And so there's custom animation ones for it like that you can buy, but like they don't show you the animation in the shop. And I
Yeah,
was like,
you're
well,
like,
how do I know if I want to buy it then?
yeah, D4's got a whole bunch of cosmetic crap you could buy. And it's funny because like to me, they don't even like oh like in a vacuum, it's like, oh, that looks pretty cool, you know, but like I don't know. I'm never gonna buy a cosmetic in these kind of games because like the base ones look usually pretty cool enough, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But yeah, I know like Path of Exile 1 is free, and then it's one of those like if you really get into it, like you'll probably have to buy like stash space to like keep your items and stuff. But like from everyone I like or everything I've read about the game, it's like people are like it's pretty fair, like it's pretty fair cost and like oh all right, like I'm getting all this game for free and I have to buy some, you know, bag space or whatever if I really get into it. Yeah, I'm not sure with two, like said early access, I guess you got to pay to get into it now, but
Hmm.
yeah, D4, it's like they have all sorts of cosmetic crap they sell in the store. And honestly, like, yeah, it's one of those, yeah, buy X amount of Diablo. Like, I remember actually, I think with one of the, I think it was with the original game when it came out, there was like a, you know, a deluxe edition and it gave you like 666 of the in-game currency. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. Diablo Devil, haha. And it's like, but like, there was literally nothing cheaper than 1,000, you know? So it's like, oh, like they're literally giving you this to like goat you into buying more so you could actually like use them, you know? And it's like, Blizzard, you're so dirty, dude. Like, come on. Freaking, but yeah, that yeah, monetization in 2026. That's but yeah, I hate those games. Like just like oh, $1 gets you 90 in-game coins. It's like just make it 1 to 1, you know? Like come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, then David's like, pay for games? What's that?
Yeah. David's like, in Canada, that would be those 90 things would cost $3,000 in
Yeah.
real money.
Yeah, but gaming ain't cheap.
Unless you're David.
Yeah, I have no comment on the matter.
Oh, neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. Hey, that's it can be cheap to be a retro game fan. That's all I'm gonna say.
Or very, very expensive, depending on what route you
yes, yes.
Well, it depends what
There's
quality
only
of games you want. You know, if you don't mind
only
playing
two
sports
extremes.
games on the PS3, like, oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, you're eating good.
Yeah. People pay you to take those games.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess we're getting near the end. Oh, Paige, was that the story season? Was that yours?
No, it's Casey's. I finished it
That's
last
Casey's.
year,
Oh,
but Casey's recently been playing
okay.
it.
Did you want to save that one for another episode, Case? Where
No, he's gone.
he's gone. That's okay. Well,
Oh no, I was muted. I'm sorry. Oh no, yeah, no, that was my game. Yeah, we could save that for another time.
Okay.
I'll say I'm enjoying it. I'll go with that.
Sounds good. So I guess we'll just wrap things up with. I know we've got another Shin Megami Tensei game just started.
Apocalypse, baby. He's got
Yeah,
45 minutes into it.
We'll see. Maybe later this morning for that one. But I know Jordan and Paige have joined me in a playthrough of Shin Megami Tensei Devil Children. This is a Game Boy Color game that was never officially localized, so there is a fan translation available that we have started. I'm only an hour and a bit into the game, but it's definitely Atlas's answer to, hey, that Pokemon game was very popular. How about we make one, but with demons? It looks like it. It plays like it. There is some weirdness to it because apparently the demons don't level up. The only way to make them stronger is to fuse them. So that's been interesting so far. But
Man, they're forcing me.
yeah. Sorry.
It's forcing you to do it. You can't just like try and drag a poor like Jack Frost for like half the game until you give up.
No, no, it's very much like you must do this. There's yeah, there's and it's funny too because like the villages or towns are set up just like Pokemon too. Like there's basically like the Pokemon hospital or whatever. There's one for demons. There's the demon fusion. It's hilarious looking at it, but yeah. So if anyone wants to jump on that with us, we were only a couple hours in. Jordan might be done by now, though. Who knows?
He's on his
But
second playthrough.
yeah, but Paige and I just started it. So yeah, if you want to head over to our Discord to talk about Devil Children, we'll be there playing that along with SMT3 Nocturne, which I'm about 15 hours into now. So yeah, I guess that's our current games for the year of SMT. Those two games, more on the way. But I guess this is probably a good spot to wrap up this week's episode. So I want to thank Paige and Casey for joining me, and for everyone, thanks for listening, and we'll see you out at the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye.
Adios.